Hey, it's Jim Dodson, the Florida Bike Guy. So, are you still doing group rides? This is week 6 or so of the pandemic, and everybody's still on social distancing. And when this first started, all the clubs came out and announced that we're not going to do group rides. And I'm still riding on the road multiple times a week. And over the last 2 weeks, particularly Saturday and Sunday of this weekend, I've really started to see groups forming. And, we need to think about this. A couple of reasons why, well, there's many reasons why you don't want to do that. I understand, it's been 6 weeks. Everybody's tired of being cooped up. You're not seeing your friends, and we're not doing the things we're accustomed to doing. But everybody's in that boat together. I was riding on Sunday, and I got held up by a traffic light, and a group of about 12 people came up right beside me, and we took off together. And turned out they were riding the same speed I was riding. So what that means is I ended up right behind them for a short period of time, realizing I don't want to be here. This isn't my group. I don't want to be in the tailwind of this group. Remember that cone that throws with that we're throwing off, the what's coming out of our lungs, particularly when you're working at high energy, that creates this long tail cone going on behind you. So I understand that each member of the group has made a decision that they're willing to take that risk and join the group and ignore the requirement or the suggestion for social distancing. But when you join a group like that, two things are happening. You pull up next to me or another cyclist, now you've made that decision for me or for them. So whatever the group is throwing off for everybody that you pass, that you ride next to, that you ride ahead of. And I would urge you to think through that, as it's really not the thing that we ought to be doing. Secondly, my concern for the cycling world is that seeing large groups start forming just confirms, unfortunately, the idea in the minds of many people that cyclists don't follow the rules everybody else follows. We don't want to feed into that mindset. We don't want to be the one that says it doesn't apply to us. And I don't want to come across as square or somebody who's not willing to get out and enjoy the sport. Quite frankly, this is not the time we ought to be doing it. My son's an ICU doctor. He's dealing with this every day. He goes to the hospital. Every conversation he has with me is, "Dad, take this seriously. I have young people with no health issues in my ICU intubated. Don't think this can't affect you or some people that you know." There's a lot of stories. There's an amazing story in Cycling Magazine recently about a very fit 30-something-year-old, highly fit amateur cyclist who ended up in the hospital with the effects of the virus. So just because we're in good shape doesn't mean we won't be affected by it. My son keeps pointing out to me that it's very indiscriminate in who it lays out. Obviously, there's a age range for those who have passed away, but the people that get affected by it is a much bigger group, and it's unpredictable where you're going to be when you get that virus. So I don't want this to be a negative conversation. I just want all of us, to think about what we're doing and the image we're portraying. We just need to cool it on the group rides until this is all over. We can all get back together when the time comes, but the time isn't here. And let's do this. Let's do our part, because we're all in this together. I'm Jim Dodson. I'm the Florida Bike Guy. I want to hear from you. If you disagree, let me know. If you agree, let me know. All right. Be safe out there.